ever been to one of those hand-pulled noodle shops where you see these men and they're pounding down and whacking the dough? All of a sudden, magically, they pull out these beautiful, chewy, and bouncy noodles. Is the dough. So the dough is different from a normal bread dough in that it actually has a lot less gluten. What we're using instead is we're using actually cake flour. Cake flour actually has a much lower gluten content, and then we're mixing in just a little bit of all-purpose flour and then a little bit of salt and then also a little bit of baking soda. That alkalinity, that basicity actually also helps to break down the gluten, which again makes the dough a little bit easier to handle. And then finally some warm water. You know, the warm water helps it to mix up a little bit more easily. We're gonna spend some time kind of still stretching it and breaking down the gluten even more. And the way we're gonna do that, and you might have seen people do this at most of these like ramen places, they're actually kind of banging against the table. I gotta show you. So you stretch it out to kind of this longish noodle. We want to kind of slap it against the table, twist, and then now you've got your thing. So you just want to keep rolling. Now we're at the stage where we're ready to pull. So, I like to do a mixture of twirl and pull. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do something similar to what I did earlier, the twirling thing, except this time I'm gonna stick it in some flour. And this flour just allows the noodles not to stick together. Now I'm going to start pulling. Pull, wrap, tug, 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 hook over, grab the other end, pull some more. And look, I think this is pretty thin, so I'm going to hook this over. Remove this bulbous part at the end, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take these noodles and we're going to cook them in some hot water for just a couple minutes, and then we're going to make beef noodle soup. Once you've got your water boiling, then you can stick your noodles in and cook. You don't need to cook for too long. Bon appetit! Phew. Finally, it's time to partake. Let's try this. It's fantastic texture. It's really, really chewy. What you would expect from hand-pulled noodles. Was it a lot of work? Definitely. But is it worth it? Absolutely. Boston, Doesn't matter that there's no hand-pulled noodle places here anymore.